Hi, so welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be taking you through something very new and different. You're going to be going through and following and enjoying what my workout looks like, and also understanding what goes through my mind while I'm thinking about and during my training. Now again, this workout is going to be roughly about an hour and 10 minutes totaling, but it may be extended just to be able to explain to you the methodology behind it. So to talk you through the summary of my workout is that we're going to be doing cleans and also jerks, and then the other part of the workout is going to be focused on kettlebell work through renegade rows and also shoulder presses, but we're turning the kettlebells upside down. They call them the bottoms up press, and then finishing off with some long cycles with the kettlebells just to get some conditioning work on my cardiovascular with the kettlebells done. But before that, I'm going to be making sure that I do some mobility and also some hanging work, so to help me improve my grip and also obviously mobilize my body ready for my specific workout. So if you have any questions, as always, just drop me a DM. If you like the video, hit the like button, do all that good stuff, the metrics, subscribe, and let's get into it. So the first part we're going to do is we're going to be doing some hangs. I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes, and in between me trying to hold on to hanging, there'll be times where I'll be resting, and then this is where I'm going to utilize that time to do some trigger release on my shoulders that are often tight, just to help mobilize my shoulders. So we're going to, without talking, we'll just crack into it. I'm trying to, ideally, over time, look to hold on for at least 30 seconds at the minute. But once I know that I've achieved 1 minute, I know that the grip strength is really strong. As you can see now, I'm starting to sort of loosen out the shoulders, helping sort of trigger release the shoulders just to help calm down any overactive muscles, helping me to be preparing for the jerk and also any presses that I'm going to do in the workout. There we go. And when I feel I'm ready to reset and go again with this, I'll jump back on here and I'll keep again trying to hold on. What I'm focusing on is my weaker hand is squeezing as hard as possible on my left hand. So I'm squeezing to really just to get the hands really getting used to gripping nice and tight. So if I'm doing like any sort of deadlifts, snatches, anything that's going to be enabling me to work on my grip or need my grip, it will just help me get stronger in that form. So there's tight shoulders each side. So currently coming back from a nasty injury that I've occurred through jiu-jitsu as well, which I need to be careful and manage my training around such injuries. Luckily, me and my coach have put something together that works really well, where it doesn't make me really lose much strength, actually makes me think more about my training. So as you can see, 2 minutes 30. I've also used chalk for this. So again, dead hangs is also something people should do. Oh, my grip's starting to really fail on me, but it's a good thing. Back. So you can see you're killing 2 stones at once. I know a lot of people don't really know about much of this trigger release. I see it as like where it's like a sports massage, where you're calming down those overactive muscles to allow you to sort of target the muscles that you really want to work. And for me, that will be my back muscles, the stabilizers, rotator cuff, often a little bit weaker than my front delts. And just play around. The goal is just to give these a little shake Got a minute and a half left. And this is like a good little routine for 5 minutes. Wow, my grip is really failing me. And as you can see, it's getting harder and harder. So we give them a good shake. But this is what I expect to see. I expect to see this. So when I literally do sort of hangs off a normal bar or grab anything, it's just super easy. But remember, the key is to really focus on squeezing, especially with the weaker hand. And what I often do is I don't really focus on, I make sure I focus on the little finger doing most of the squeezing, because often that's the sign of the first finger that will get weak first when you're gripping something. So you really want to try and focus on the little finger, and then you'll start to see how everything with grip will start to be a lot stronger. So you'll get a better grip. And as you can see, 5 minutes is done. Shoulders are starting to be loosened off, which then we can then start to go into my mobility flow, which takes around 10 to 15 minutes. So the next part is we're going to go into sort of the mobility flow. Mobility flow, I'm going to start things off by doing bear crawls. Now bear crawls is something that I've been doing for the last 10 weeks because I feel like it will help stabilize my shoulders, get my core engaged, and really focus on making sure that I can really keep everything nice and tight. So hands on the floor, knees, I'm just going to be walking all the way through. So again, I'm just focusing on making sure the hips are still, core is tight, back is nice and flat, knees as low to the ground as possible. Okay, so from here, this is where I go into my natural mobility flow, where I'm going to be targeting most of the muscles on my body to prepare me for just general mobility. And honestly, after the last 10 weeks doing it daily, it's been a massive game changer in my training, because the way I feel, less aches and pains waking up. So there's a video on this, but again, if you go to the YouTube channel, just watch it, you can follow along. So I'll start off just reaching up for the sky, just lengthening out my spine, squeezing my glutes, really trying to drive up like a nice stick. Down. Yeah. For today's purpose, I'll just go nice and quick, so there's no real much talking through. Just start to mobilize my ankles. So this whole thing should take roughly 10 minutes, which is useful because I'm going to target everything that I need to do in order for me to feel good. Into a cobra. Into Y raises. Now again, because I've done the trigger point, the front shoulders are left active, and I can start to activate the back muscles. And I really like to deliberately retract my shoulders
so I know, especially on my weak side, my left side, I'm really working it. So you can see I've done most angles. So this is the A raise. And then we're going to So there's a lot of thinking process that's gone into this. Mobilise the wrist. So I've done it that many times. I know what I'm doing. As you can see, I can target every joint. Every joint in the body, so that we are literally ready for the workout. Now, because I take a little bit longer than most people on their mobilities, because I need to improve my mobility more than most people, or the people that are very flexible. What I've found is Asian people are quite mobile with their flexibility. So there we go. Get into the hamstrings now. So I've done quite consistently. You'll see that everything is getting mobilized. And if you, again, I've always said to somebody, listen to your body. That if you feel something's a bit tight or something's a bit off, there's a bit of an imbalance, you can obviously, you should just try and start to listen to your body and start going, actually, this side might be a little bit tighter than the other side. I may need to spend a little bit more time on one side just to improve everything. Oh, clickety click. So pretty much almost done on the first part of this. Starting to move on to the lower body. There we go. Good. Okay. Again, just trying to open out my hips here. Bit of an unorthodox exercise, but it's just making a figure of 8, making sure my hips are staying out. I'm opening out my hips. And I start to stand up. Side lunges, just naturally trying to get lower and lower, deeper and deeper every time. Keeping my knees over my toes, not letting my hips go back. Again. So one of my weak points are my ankles. Probably could have saved me a bit of football career, because I didn't realise how much as you can see, what I was saying is could have helped save me on my football career. I was waking up with super painful ankles towards the later years. I wasn't understanding that my ankles were so tight that they were really affecting the recovery of my my muscles, joints. And ever since I've focused on these things, I really have just linked longevity, mobility, strength, nutrition, which everybody wants to avoid, into my life as a very important factor. So this side, for me, is one of my harder sides for rotation. I also get a stretch through the leg down here. The more I pull, as you can see, it's quite a comprehensive mobility flow. Again, I'm not saying that there's so many mobility exercises out there. I'm not saying that this is the perfect one for you, but it's again recognizing what you do and don't know about your body, finding out about it if you don't know, and if you do know, and understanding how much time you're going to place on those things or that area of your life. Because if you want to see improvements in things, it requires time and a bit of patience and consistency, because all this was very hard for me at the start, but it wasn't until I had to do it, had to break past that barrier of, was it the 21 days? You got to do 21 days consistently to know it's actually turned into a habit. So I had to break past that barrier. Again, these are things where maybe you're reflecting on this video thinking, is there something I can start to improve, dedicate, even a small thing, waking up, walking, waking up, meditating. This helps open up my shoulders. Especially on the weaker arm as well, the one that's been injured. Almost done. And there we go. So what we're going to do is start off with some warm-ups on the cleans, just to make sure the bar's moving nice to get ready to the jerks. And then obviously that's just ramping me up, getting me warmed up. And what I've done on the timer is I've set it where every 40 seconds I've got to do 3 reps, and then that will be a minute rest in between. Now I've identified that I've got 2 options on that rest. 3 options. I can either do nothing, wait for the time. Second one would be mobility, or third one is maybe tag some biceps into it. Biceps, lateral raises for the side delts, just to improve that just the aesthetic look, if that makes sense. So get ready, follow me along. We're about to begin the workout. Okay, so in terms of now, we're just going to be warming up the bar. I'm just getting used to what the feeling's like of cleaning the bar up, making sure I feel comfortable on the contact. Once I'm happy with the contact, I can start to then add the weight, just get the feel. Just for today, we just got the 15 ready for us, because I've set the timer for 1 minute rest. It's either in between 1 minute 30 and 1 minute and 1 minute 30 rest. Sometimes I set. So today is a 1 minute rest timer. And what the workout is, I'm going to be doing 10 rounds of 3 reps. 10 rounds of 3 reps on 70 kg. That's going to just be consistent rest for a minute, 3 reps every minute for 10 rounds. So I'm at the final part of this program. It sounds easy where you start off at 2 reps for 10 rounds, and then every session you do, you add on a rep each time. So now just keep adding up the weight. 60 kg. And then we'll crack on into setting the timer. Do one more on this, and then I'm going to add in the jerk part, and then I will crack on. Sometimes it feels heavy, sometimes it feels light. This is, again, often people just think that just because they did something last week or the week before, they must do more or the same. It's all about really listening to the body, maybe looking at metrics such as sleep, stress, very importantly, nutrition, because again, that will dictate how the energy system will work in your body. I don't want to sound complicated, but it's more about you put shit in your body, or you put shit in your car. Don't expect it to run properly. So we're just going to get into the jerk part now. That's alright, alright. This is the thing, I'm not an actual Olympic lifter, and this is something I've humbled myself on over time. That this process of Olympic weightlifting will take me a good 3-4 years, and I need to be doing it consistently to really see the skill and proficiency of me being able to lift without having complications. So as you can see, the timer's all ready to go. Set the weight, 70 kg. I'll put the clips on just so we don't have no fumbly weights. Timer begins. I wish I could turn on the music, but we never know what YouTube guidelines infringements come with, so unfortunately I've got to train in silence. Here we go. Time begins. So remember what I said, 10 rounds, 3 reps. So I'm going to be doing 1 clean, 3 jerks. 1 clean, 3 jerks. So again, one of the crucial things, that mobility in between. You can get to decide what you feel you need to work on. For me, my thoracic extension is one of my weaker parts, and this is how I can increase the time that I'm doing mobility, while also saving time during the workout and the time in my day. I want to make sure it's beneficial. And like I said, I'm not expecting to be, or you watch this video like I'm some sort of an elite athlete at doing this. It's good where you can see there's more to learn from myself, and you can get to understand. You don't have to be an expert to do these things. You've got to have to recognize your starting point. Ooh. Ooh. You can imagine the heart rate's gone up while I'm trying to get that mobility in. If you think about two things that often people will never remember or even think about is having especially if you're training hard, having something that you can consume in between the workouts. Now a lot of beginners assume that you just work hard and leave. You can have literally something at the middle of the workout where just gives you that little energy boost, a banana, some sweets, anything that you feel is gonna just help sustain your workout for that short period of time, especially if you're pushing hard. Ah! This is thank God, this is the last week of this workout. To know that, while it sounds easy, you only each session you go from 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, then you add on 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, then you go 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Sounds like a song. When you start to really feel the weights, you can see how you can acclimatize yourself to the workout, and you're reducing your risk of failure as well. Oh. Wow. Again, I set up the dumbbells for me to do bicep curls. For me, today is not that day. If you look at this, if I'm doing this minute for 10 rounds, that's 10 minutes mobility on one specific area. That's getting done. Oh. Oh, again a drink. Sheesh. You're probably thinking, does this build muscle? 100%. It's not like bodybuilding muscle, but the ability to move heavy weights fast will help muscle growth. the great thing is when you set the timer, you're at the mercy of the timer, because I'm more focused on the technique. I know that I shift a lot of weight onto the front leg. And again, if I need to, I would probably do some more drill work at the start of the session, just to help with just getting me underneath the bar, or feeling that my lockout position is in a good place. But, woo! Oh, even with the aircon on, can't defeat the heat. Yeah, you know, fatigue's kicking in. Aye. Oh. That's the beauty. I don't even know how many sets I've done, but gotta keep going till we hear that long beep. This ain't even the conditioning part of the workout. Crazy. Oh. But be doing this, feel my lockout while I'm tired is, obviously I'm getting tired, it's getting harder, but my body's not tightening up. There we go. Pull rip. Oh. Get a drink. Oh. I don't know. In my head, I think that's 8. I've got 2 more to do. Again, mobility is not compulsory. You can do it if you need to. You could do biceps. And as you can see, in 1 minute, you could probably churn out 10 bicep curls on a good weight. 5 rounds, 50 reps. Lateral raises, another 5 rounds. I can tell you now, what? I'm trying to find that power from the legs, because that's what it's trying to send the bar up. Let's get some more weight on. I'm hoping this is the last round. If not, done. Woo! And that's the thing. I don't like really knowing how many rounds. I just want that mindset of I've just got to keep going, because it's set out the right weight, the right intensity. Now that's a mental game then. Because if it was super easy and I finished this really easy, then I clearly, 1, haven't put the right weight on, 2, the rest time might not be sufficient, and all these things. So yeah, so that's the first part. Cleans and 2 jerks, or 3 jerks. That's the final part of that now. We're gonna move on to now renegade rows with bottom up press. I'll see you in there. Now we're going into the next part, is renegade rows into bottoms up press. Renegade rows, perfect for stabilizing your hip flexors, your core, and obviously you're going to activate your shoulder stability and back. So it's a total workout when we come to doing this. What I do technically is I like to know that I'm sticking to a time frame. So what we're doing is one each arm, 1 row, and then 1 press with the bottoms up each arm, and then 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, all the way to 5, and then we repeat that again 3 rounds, 1 to 5, 1 to 5. Now the timer that I like to stay in between is 15 minutes for this. So if my fitness levels are not in place, then it knows that I can be looking at a time frame that I can try to achieve. I've actually, through the program, moved from 20s to 24s now, which then obviously shows that strength and conditioning has increased over that time. And this is the most crucial thing. Sticking to a workout is probably the most crucial thing that you need to do, because you need to see the changes that are happening in your training, whether that's the lifts are not feeling right, or things need to be changed, or you're seeing improvements in the numbers and the rest time, the recovery. These are really important, because you'll feel more confident and you'll feel like you want to keep pushing, because yeah, it's a positive bonus. So I'm going to drink some water. Again, I'll keep this at the side. There's no music, which is upsetting, but we shall move on. And then timer. Okay, renegade rows. These bottoms up presses, I'm going to try and do on my knees, which adds a little bit of a harder element. I'm going to chalk up because the sweat's kicking in. Something that you might need to recognize when you're working out is how much your sweat can impact on your overall lift. And what you can do is look out for if there's any look out for if my hips are wiggling too much on this renegade rows. Nine. Oh. It's taken me 3 minutes 40 to do that. What I like to do is not, people think that, oh, I can rest. I like to just keep moving, just so, because it's only 1 rep here, I'm already started in my mind. So I don't have to necessarily think I've got 2 rounds to go. I'm already on 2 rounds. And it's up to me if I want to take that little break. I know you're thinking I didn't do the clean up and then kneel down on one of the reps. It's not the be all and end all of that, but I'll add it in just to help with the challenge. Yeah. Number 3. I better tell, I think the date is the 29th today, January 2024. So I might as well log the date as well so people recognize the date. 1, 2, 3. As you can see, I'm already into number 4 and it's only 6 minutes in. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh! Obviously this is a little bit different to, or a lot different to the first part of the workout. 1, 2, 3, 4. And really, in my head, I'm not trying to go super fast on this because there's only so much time you can do it in. So I can't do it in a minute, the whole thing. It takes roughly around 10 to 12 minutes to complete the whole thing. If I was to, if I was to non-stop do it. So as you can see, 7 minutes 30, completing round 2. As you can see, round 2 done in 8 minutes. It's 4 minutes. Is there a major rush? Not really, but there's a major rush in your mind to say, can you push? Can you not have a rest? That's the sort of questions you want to ask. Now, obviously I'm a firm believer that you can get a workout done in 20 to 30 minutes, but if there's something where time is not an issue, but you can make it an issue. What I mean, you deliberately make sure you get your workout done in a certain time. You don't waste time in the gym, because the longer you're in the gym, you've got to be asking yourself, have I really worked hard? Every time your workout is past a certain time, you've got to be going, what was the purpose of me coming to the gym? Did I get the outcome? Hi. Oh, it's crazy. Oh. 3. As you can see, roughly 10 to 12 minutes this should take. Doesn't matter if you want a really lightweight or a really heavy weight. Come on, 2 more rounds left. 1, 2, 1, 2. I deliberately put this towel on for the video so you can get to see my muscles work. Hi! Instead of it being just on a t-shirt. Just over 12, as long as I beat the 15, especially when I first did this, I proper gassed out. Woo! Last one. That, my friend, is the end of that. 12 minutes 45, not a bad time. Again, I set myself to get it done before 15. I've done that. If someone tried this and they went over it, 20 minutes max, you want to be setting yourself, or it means the weight's too heavy, or you're being lazy. So yeah, key points on the Renegade rows. As you can see, I'm trying to minimize any hip movement, stay in that nice tight core plank, shoulders engaged, and then really using the toes to dig into the ground and the arm to press into the kettlebell to allow stability to kick in for me to row. And then with these two, because of my shoulder injury, it helps challenge the stabilizers, the rotator cuff, to help with recovery. Still 8 months in, 6 to 8 months when the injury came, the injury's still there. However, I'm still able to, as you can see from the clean and jerk, still able to train. It's just clever training on my part, making sure I know what I can and can't do. So yeah, that's why those are in. And then now we're going to be going into the long cycle, challenging conditioning part. Stay tuned. So we're going to be going into the long cycle with the kettlebells now, just for some conditioning work. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting, just looking for the timer there, we're going to be setting the timer for 2 minutes working, 1 minute rest, 5 rounds. So that's obviously 10 minutes. It will be 15 minutes work, or obviously total exercise working. And if you now look at the workout, we've got 15 when we did the clean and jerks, it was roughly 15 to 20 minutes, especially we're including the sort of ramping up, getting used to the weight first. And then you've got the mobility part, the 5 minutes of the hangs and trigger release, and then the 10 to 15 minutes of the mobility. And again, you don't have to follow my mobility. You can just do something that's just useful for yourself. So that's 5 plus 10 is 15, plus the first part, the clean and jerks, that's 15, that's half an hour. Then the other part is another 45 minutes. And now we're going to be doing another 15 minutes here. And as you can see, in an hour, that's a real complete workout. And as mentioned, if you wanted to do like biceps, calves, or a little bit extra, you could probably tag that in at the end of the workout, maybe for 5 minutes. So you can see that you're getting a full total body, especially if you're short of time, and you can really understand why playing with the time is going to be important. So the long cycle now, what I like to do is, because I'm really trying to get used to building myself up across this year to be able to handle 20 kgs for at least 5 minutes of a long cycle. Obviously, when you're doing the long cycle, it's either advised that you either take your watch off, or you turn it on the inside so you don't bash anything. My advice for myself is I just prefer to take it off. Just for preference, it's just preferential. And as mentioned, now we're going to be working for 2 minutes, and then we're going to have a minute rest for 5 rounds. I'm starting off with the 12s just to get my feeling, the feeling of the workout in on the first round. If I believe that it's a bit too easy, then I'll move on to the 16s. And then what I'll use of the 16s is, if I'm starting to fail and I feel like I'm challenged, I'll drop the weight and I'll automatically start carrying on with the 20s to get my body really used to the heavier load, and then it will challenge me for the whole workout. Rather than me explain, hopefully that thing happens and you can get to see what's going on. So again, this is going to target a lot of conditioning, because I'm not trying to drop the kettlebell while also working on the legs, core and upper body as well, shoulders and arms. Countdown begins. As you can see now, I've already changed my shoes. I've gone from the weightlifting shoes as well to my normal flat shoes. And my goal now is to not drop the kettlebells at all. If I choose not to, I don't have to continually do reps, but what I set myself, especially with the 12s, is in the 2 minutes, anywhere between 10 to 15 repetitions will be good. Oh. Oh. So as you can see there, I'm sure that you're watching it and thinking that looks light and easy. What I understand is that, as mentioned on the trigger release, my right shoulder tends to absorb and tense up, and it takes up a lot of the weight. So something that, again, just trying to learn how to make that relax, trigger release. I'll show you what I'll be doing. I'll be jumping straight into the 16s but I'll show you what I'll do on my rest, which again helps with releasing the shoulder. But remember, it might look easy, but I promise you, it's not easy. It took me a while to get used to the 12s. Oh, there's no talking on this thing. So what I'll do is simply just place my shoulder on there. Thank God I'm a bit sweaty. I can just sort of place some tension on there. Calm down the front delt. Probably typically I can only do 3 rounds or even 2 rounds before it ends up dropping. This is a good sign where things are progressing. It doesn't feel as challenging as it usually does. Wow. Oh. No, 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 no. Oh. 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 So now I felt like I wanted to give up there. So I know for a definite fact that I think part of the, I ain't gonna kid you not, part of the reason I didn't give up is because the camera's on me. But for me, the big goal now is to even last a minute 30. If I can last a minute 30, I've done well. I know there's been big progress, because then I can just jump straight onto the 20s. Shit rep. So I'll shake it off, have a mini break, then automatically pick up the 20s. I know it sounds crazy, but this little break gives you a little reset on your arms. Gives you a little reset on the arms. So at least I'm not dropping the weight, I'm actually increasing it. And it's not the strength part, it's the conditioning of just trying not to drop the weight. It's the challenging part. It's a very challenging part. So into round 5, yeah? Final one. I'll do well on a minute. I'll do very well on a minute. So again, if you don't know how to do the long cycle, just go onto the YouTube, type in my name and then long cycle. Pain is real. tell you. Oh. That's a little bit. Oh. Wow. Right. Now, well, this ain't your typical bodybuilder's workout. You're not only going to learn skills, mastery of understanding more about kettlebells, barbells, and sort of having enjoyment along longevity in training. As you can see, mobility, different movement patterns that make you enjoy training a bit more. And it doesn't mean that you can look at this and go, oh, I can never do this. I was once that person. I really was. But it's just having an open mind to go, okay, do I really enjoy training? And if you're not enjoying the training or understanding the outcome of what you're trying to see by training, and the best thing I can say to people that do bodybuilding workouts is, if you're not living the life of a bodybuilder, what purpose is it bringing? Meaning following bro splits and all these splits, which you're never really going to be seeing the full true results. Wouldn't it be beneficial that you work on some things that maybe can add value to your life, mobility, and learning skills that really you thought that weren't really you were allowed to do? You know, I used to think that maybe I wasn't allowed to do Olympic weightlifting because, oh, it's for Olympic athletes or all these things. And obviously, kettlebells have really changed the game. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to stretch now. You don't really need to see all that. Hope you really enjoyed the video. Yeah, I'll be doing another workout, my other workout, which mirrors or shows the same. Yeah, like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts. See you later.